Hey, it's Chris and Brian again, and the topic of today is third-party application patching and why that's important. So it's part of our monthly routine. We do operating system patching and we also do application patching. And I've got Chris here with me to talk a little bit of the technical piece about what it is, why you should do it, and maybe he'll give you a little bit of a demo of one of the tools that we use. Take it away, Chris.
Okay, so yeah, essentially, all the applications you use that are out, not Windows directly. So like 7-zip, your browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Brave, etc. Adobe products, all those, have vulnerabilities and need to be updated and patched regularly, just like the operating system itself. And the frequency at which they get updates, varies depending on the vendor. But, for example, Chrome and Edge and Firefox, they'd get updates constantly. Browsers, you know what I mean? Like you might see a little indicator when you're on your browser, like that there's an update pending, fixing at a 0 day or something else. And this is not only just important for Windows, this also affects something like Mac OS too. Like all system, they all become vulnerable. And while Mac OS, is generally not likely to get a virus, it can still happen. And it may be a security flaw, or it could be to improve system performance of the application. So like
So
maybe
Chris,
Adobe's bug in Mac OS and a patch would fix that bug an end user would encounter.
sorry to interrupt, Chris, but why don't you explain a little bit how we do it with one of our Mac clients using Intune, how we patch their third-party applications like Adobe and Zoom.
Yeah, so let me go in here to Intune. So this is just go down to applications. So here you'll see all the Mac OS applications we're pushing out via Intune. We got Google Chrome, we got, Microsoft 365 app. So that's the suite. So Outlook, Word, Excel, etc. We're also pushing out Defender for Endpoint to their devices as a security product for the endpoints. We're pushing out Microsoft Edge and also pushing out Zoom, which is a piece of software they use, for webinars, meetings, stuff like that. And if we come in here, you can see the properties, and who's it, we can get granular with who we assign it to. We can assign it to all devices, we can assign it to specific users in the organization, and you can, and it'll keep all the applications up to date that you're pushing. Essentially, if they were to buy a new Mac OS, I don't know, a MacBook Pro, once we got that company portal app on there, it would start deploying all this. So it also kind of automates the setup process for new devices you get.
Excellent. So Intune works for the Mac. It also works for Windows. It functions a little bit better on the Windows devices than it does the Mac devices. So in some cases, if you have a ton of Macs, it makes sense to purchase a tool like Jamf, JAMF, or there's a handful of other really good mobile device management tools that you can use to help with this third-party patching. Okay, so let's talk about Winget real quick, Chris, and
Yep.
just how that works.
So yeah, Winget is like the Windows tool that updates third-party software. If we go to this website here, winget.run, you can install your software with Winget too that's not already installed on the system. It's essentially a Windows package manager, something you would a package manager would be something you generally see on Linux. But essentially, if I come in here, you can install Winget on the system. I think Windows 11 by default, it just works out the box now. But as you can see, we got Adobe Reader here. You can look, any application you use. If you use Chrome, we'll come to Google Chrome here. It gives you the command you run, and it will install that. So a demo, if I wanted to update, say I had dozens of Winget packages on a Windows system, what you can do with that is you could just update it running one command. There is some, installers aren't completely automated, so you might see a pop-up just like if you manually downloaded the file and ran the installer. But I'll connect into one of our VMs here and we can run one again. Don't know what software is on this.
Okay, so let's start.